Hey, 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 good morning. Good morning to everyone. Welcome to the fourth annual 2D Animation Virtual Summit. I am your host, Tony Ross of TonyTeach.com. Welcome. How you doing? A lot of things that are going to be going on with this year's summit, and I'm excited. We got a couple of people that are going to be returning this year. I'll tell you one of the ones I'm very excited about. Well, actually, let me tell you what this year's summit's theme is. Last year, I think we did. I think it was last year where we were talking about. I'm trying to think. Were we talking about mental health last? No, that might have been the one before. Mental and physical health, which was kind of funny because I kind of burned out mid summit. Last year, I think toward the end, I ended up actually thinking I had allergies, I had COVID. So, letting you know, I feel a lot better this year. Anyway, I'm rambling. So, what's this year's theme? This year's theme is mainly focusing on definitely focusing on a lot of independent animators and people doing their own thing. And I also wanted to talk about, not necessarily connected, but it also is, I think, a part of that, is talking about pitching your ideas, how to get your ideas, how do you pitch for a show. And one of the main people I'm really excited about is my good friend and colleague, and he has been an inspiration and has been a guest on the show from its very beginning. Mr. Mark Simon is going to be coming up later in the week. He's going to be talking about 7 pitch fails. Like, if you're talking about pitching a show, like, there's stuff that seems like, yes, you definitely want to do this. And he's explaining exactly why you don't. So I'm really excited about that. In addition to that, let me see. I wanted to talk about who all we actually have coming through this year. Let's see. La 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 la. Going through my notes here. Um. Okay. So, we have a couple of people. Susana Rodriguez, who's going to be doing a demo of drawing out some. I think she's drawing out a cutesy character, and that's going to be pretty awesome. We also have. Let me think. Oh, by the way, these are the people for Tuesday, who's coming up tomorrow. And if you haven't already, make sure you sign up at signup.animationsummit.net. That way, you'll get the emails on the official times and everything, as well as that's where I'm pulling names from. We have a lot of giveaways this year. Very grateful to our sponsors, both Wacom and Toon Boom. So we have some annual licenses of Storyboard Pro to give away, as well as some annual licenses of Harmony Premium to give away. So yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. Wacom, what are we giving away? We're giving away some small Intuos. We're also giving away some, I want to say, some Wacom ones, and I think there might be a Cintiq in there somewhere. It's not the 27 inch, but still, it's a Cintiq that you could win for free. So, oh, by the way, I keep saying by the way, like, yeah, that's gonna be the word of the day or the phrase of the day. So here's the deal with any of these little drawings. We're going to be calling the names out, and then we'll send an email out, and you have probably a good 24 hours to kind of let us know, hey, yeah, that's me. And that way we know it's you. We reached out to some people last year and said, hey, yeah, you won this. And they're like, we thought it was a scam. No, it's not a scam. Just need your, address to send stuff to. Even for the software, yes, we're going to need your address. So letting you know, if you think it's a scam and you don't want to respond, that is fine. I am absolutely okay with moving on to the next person. Anyway, let me think. What are we doing? Okay. So, a couple of things. if you've been noticing or if you've been following Tony Teach, one of the things we're going to be doing this year, and I've tried to do this in years past, and I have not done it successfully. I'm releasing a new Toon Boom thing, a new Toon Boom class. It's pretty much making simple production rigs in Toon Boom Harmony and doing our little faux show. What is it? 1,000 Vampires. So part of that is what I'm going to be demoing today. What are we doing today? Who's our guest today? Well, technically, we don't have guests today. So I'm just going to be doing a live demo of something. I'm going to go and find, well, technically I already found it, but download a simple vector from Vecteezy, and I'm going to go through the full steps of rigging that out inside of Harmony. Like, how do you get it from Illustrator over to Harmony, make it work decent, yada, yada, yada. Let me think. What else am I doing? So, la 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 la. Let me do the following. Yeah. Curious. Make sure our chat system is working. Is our chat system working? Let's see. Okay. I'm sitting here going, wait a minute, test, test, test. Tim Giovanni, the chat system is working. Do me a favor. I'm curious. What is... Oh, yeah. Oh, a couple of things we need to mention. There is a quote-unquote Tony Teach podcast coming up. Probably I don't know if it's going to be a Tony Teach podcast or a Summit podcast, but it's going to be kind of something like this. This way it's not just this time of year, but it's the full year. Delta Tango Mike. Good morning, Dan. What's up, dude? So I have a quick question for everyone. If we were to do a podcast, should we do video or audio? Let's see. Duchessness, could you please put the link to be on the list where you're speaking about the giveaway? Yes, I can. Hold on. Let me do that real quick. Tim Giovanni says, good evening. Tim, where are you? I'm trying to think. Is it... Am I wrong? Are you in Japan? Where are you? Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to write up a little name here. So videos are all good. We try to do as much as we can over here. Tim is based in Shanghai. Dude. It's easy to record video and audio, then use the audio for a podcast, share bits in the combo. I like that. I'm liking that. This is why I keep you around, Dan. Let's see. La, 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 la. So, give me a second. I'm going to write up this little thing that I did not write up earlier, and I should have. Sign up dot animation dot animation summit. Thank you. So, if you know anything about me, I have always been a huge fan of just do. Put out your own stuff. Don't wait for everyone else. Da, 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 da. Toon Boom China. Yes. Loving that. Elijah from our class. Elijah, dude, what's up, man? Appreciate it. Yeah, I just finished teaching a 36-hour, not all at one time, but a 36-hour course for Toon Boom. I was actually teaching several. Elijah was one of our students. Uh, Hope you learned stuff. Na, 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 na. So what am I playing around with? Um, yeah, I wanted to do. A buddy of mine was talking to me as we were planning for the summit this year. I actually I've been planning on it for a while. Still doing it kind of later than I wanted as far as moving on things. But he was talking about where if we just did this idea the entire year, that way we can make it bigger and better next year. So let's see. So what I want to share with you, I think, is where are we at? I'm going to do something very live in a moment as soon as I find out where the hell it went. So yeah, I've always been a fan of where people are always complaining about stuff, and it's my pet peeve. Where, especially recently, people say something like, "Well, I didn't like that movie. I think they should have done it this way," and yada yada yada. The problem I have with that, especially now, is, do you know how easy it is to like let's talk about, for instance, it's not necessarily 2D. It does have 2D sequences in it, or 2D stories in it. But Love, Death, and Robots, really awesome show. But if you think about it, the technology and the software exists that you could technically do one of those episodes for free. Between, let's say, if you're playing with something like Open Tunes or even Blender Grease Pencil, doing in 3D, what about Blender or what about Unreal Engine? You can pretty much build your own thing. Nothing is stopping you. But it's easier to get on Facebook and write out a comment going, "This is stupid. You know, I didn't like this." All right, whatever. What are you doing? So, cool. Glad you signed up, Eric. Um, but yeah, it's like there's nothing stopping you other than you. Do your own thing. When I was teaching college, I had like everyone, in a lot of the professors and the students were like, "I'm going to go get a job at ILM, or I'm going to go get a job at Pixar." I'm like, "That's cool. There's only one or two of those spots open." So while you're doing that, while you're trying to get the job, do your own thing. Put your own stuff out there. Nothing's stopping you. Not even a brag. It's that, like, how did the summit start? I was sitting one year and I thought, huh, no one's inviting me to talk anymore, or no one's inviting me to talk on their panels lately. Screw it, I'll make my own. So that's where it started. So I started reaching out, going, I know people, I can talk. Um, Darn, I can't go to this con or this convention, or that's expensive, or whatever. You know what? I'll just do it online, and that's where it was. The weird thing about the summit was, the first year we did the 2D animation virtual summit was the year before COVID hit. So we're in our second year, and then everyone's summits were like online. Like, yeah, we were already online. Yeah, it's still going to be online. So it's kind of interesting where you go for stuff. Like, I think you just have to just get out there and do your own thing. All right. I'm going to see. Today is not only, it's very light usually because this is where I can go in and test out some things, make sure everything is working correctly. We're using a plethora of different softwares. I am using, what is this? Ecamm Live is my main little engine to run everything, which is then feeding into Restream.io, and neither one of them are sponsors. We'll say yet. So hopefully next year. But that's how I'm running this whole system. And actually, I want to say Joanna Davidovich is actually the one who told me about Restream. And I'm using their free version, which is kind of cool. So with Restream, it's actually kicking things out to YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So I'm going to see if I can bring up my screen here and do a little bit of a demo in a moment. Okay, there's that. Oh yeah, duh. Share the screen. Thank you. I'm going to change that. Yes, please. This reminds me. How many programs do I have open at once? Probably more than I should. Let's see. Let's jump back over here to... I almost said Internet Explorer. It's not Internet Explorer. It's Chrome. Okay, so here's the deal. The main thing I'm going to be talking about, and you'll see advertisements and little, what's the word? Little snippets from our course. Our course is going to be coming out. We had planned on it coming out today, but it is coming out, I believe, I want to say next Monday, but it'll be officially announced later. But making simple rigs in Toon Boom Harmony. I think a lot of people keep thinking that you have to do these crazy looking rigs like I was trying to think, what's that thing, American the movie or whatever? The American Motion Picture. It was done in Harmony, but it was crazy, beautifully complicated. So I wanted to show how to do like some simple stuff. And what I'm going to do today is come in here and just decided to go on Vecteezy and look up vampires because that's our little mock show that we're going to be doing. It's our little mock show is 1000 Vampires. Because I think I bought that name 10 years ago, 1000vampires.com. So I figured, hey, that'll be kind of cool. Am I going to show you how to make 1000 vampires in Harmony? No. It's probably going to be 2 or 3. So, but today what I want to do, just to test out a few things here, we're going to go ahead and make this little guy, bring him over into Illustrator, separate him out, and how do you get it ready to rig and animate in Harmony, and how do you make it simple but still kind of awesome? So I'm going to do that there. Let's see, where are we? Smo, what's up, dude? All right. La 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 la. I'm gonna check up the little sign up thing here for a second. So, I'm trying to stay legit, like places like Vecteezy, and what is it, Free Pick, and places like that. A lot of them say, yeah, you can use our stuff. You just have to do attribution. So, letting you know, yes, this is where I got this from. And quite frankly, I could probably post in the chat. I think I can post in chat. Let me see if I can do that. Let's talk about testing things out. Post exactly where I got this from. I think I can. Maybe. Just working along and seeing new tricks and learn from time and background. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. So, where is it there? Oh, I think I have to go to a different window to actually do chats, but we'll see. Anyway, so I downloaded this cat. And let's see. What am I looking for? Yeah. So this is the cat over in Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator. And when you download the stuff, no one thinks like, hey, someone's going to animate this later, so let me separate it for them. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. This is just this one old flat little thing here. So what I have to do is do interesting things like, let's see, how would I even start this? Probably going to be like a little bit of everywhere. So I could start with the eyes. The interesting thing here is how this stuff is broken up, and I kind of have to think with respect to harmony how I'm going to break it apart. So I'm looking at these little slices in the middle. If I grab both of those, so we'll probably do something like that, meaning that this guy, we'll cut that. Thank you. Let's make a new layer, and I'm going to call that something weird like front eye or something like that. And I'm not going to do a paste in place. I'll just do a Command F to paste in front. It's a lot easier than the paste in place combination. The other part of this is, let's see, there's the glare. Yeah, this part's going to be separated somehow, but how? For now, because you have to start thinking, like, how is this going to work out? Do I want the white of the eye versus the eyelid? How's that going to work? There's no little lines there. So I'm thinking things like, okay, I am probably going to make what's called an envelope deformer around here, so I can change the shape of this main eye here and it'll close down. That being said, let's do the following. Now, in theory, some of my heavy lifting I'm not actually going to do in Illustrator. I mean, well, why would I? Let's cut that, Command X. And technically, you're not the front eye, you're the front iris. I used to say eyeball during class, and then someone was like, well, actually, it's not the eyeball. It's like, dude, I'm trying to do like a Bob Ross thing here, so calm down. Anyway, yeah, because a lot of this technical stuff is extremely boring. Now, what am I doing but separating these into different layers? When you think about animating, and a lot of people don't know this, you're actually doing cutout animation, meaning anything you're wanting to move needs to be on its own separate layer. Who the hell did this? Why are those in so... Oh, that's gross. Those should be rounded out. This reminds me of when I first started learning vector stuff. It's like, man, didn't understand about butt caps and round caps and vectors and fun things like that. Meanwhile, what am I looking for? This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Okay. I always had a thing for vampires. I'm not sure why. What is that? Let's do cut, Mr. Eyebrow. Thank you. I am probably going to clone this, meaning that we'll only do one eye, then copy it and flip it to the other side. So we'll do front eyebrow. And paste in place. Did you go there? Yes, I think you did. So right now, that's what we have. Cool. You know what? Maybe we'll just do the head today, because that'll make our lives a little easier. Bringing the body over is easy enough. Ooh, that's nice. Dude, you got a neck. Let's go there. Hold down our shift key. Grab there. Cut. Thank you. Ooh, headless horseman. Yes. And this will be something complicated like the neck. And paste in place. Thank you. And the head, probably the ears. Cut. Call you the head. Paste in place, or not paste in place. I'm just doing paste in front. So that's looking good so far. Where's the neck? Pull you behind the head. Thank you. And let me do, that's right, the mouth. The mouth is going to be interesting. Because the tongue's definitely going to be a different, a totally separate item. The top of the mouth is going to be different. versus the back of the mouth, like the top of the mouth where the teeth are. So these are little conversations you kind of have and figure out. Um, I think the way I'm going to do this, if I grab this little guy, copy, or cut actually. Hi, red cat. Let's add a new layer. This is going to be the, wow, mouth shape, sure. By the way, I've said this if you've ever taken a class with me, the most important pieces of hardware and software for you to purchase in this line of work, paper and pencil. Did I paste that the wrong way? Hold on. Yes, I did. Okay, there we are. All right, we'll close that off, and then let's zoom in here. Let's hold on to my Alt or Option key and use my scroll wheel. So let's grab the muzzle. Is that the muzzle? Sure. Let's cut that, and you're going to go above the mouth little shape there. That's good. I think we're going to need to put the nose there. But it's little weird things like this that you have to start deciphering ahead of time, like where things are going to be. And the cool part is you can still come in and change it later. Okay, above that little guy. Actually, can you come here on this layer? And do you paste in front there? Oh yeah, it's not. Hold on. Yes. There we go. Alright. I think that's working. And where's the back of the mouth? That's cool. The only thing that's bugging me is I know I need something covering that up there. So that we may figure out in a minute. So we'll call that, is that the muzzle? Something. I keep calling it that. Okay, so what I'd like to do, by the way, I'm doing something, I'm playing without a net. I haven't saved this once. So I should probably go File, Save As. On your computer, thank you. VampCat 01. That reminds me, I always have people going like, my file got corrupt. What do you mean your file, singular? Whenever I'm working on something, I will usually work on, like I just call this VampCat 01. Once I finish separating everything, it'll probably get moved to 02. If I decide to change colors, that'll be 03. And you do that just in case stuff goes wrong, as well as your client's always going to go, yeah, I think they like the thing you sent me like last week. Then you got to go back in your email and go, wait, what was that? Oh yeah, I sent them version 13. Okay, let me open up version 13 and go from there. All right. Head, yes. There, yes. Muzzle, of course, goes above that. Thank you. Mouth shape goes above that. Thank you. Are we looking good so far? Turn the body off. Thank you. All right, that's looking mostly okay. Let's do the following. Need to turn those off. Turn this guy back on. We don't need the neck on. But this guy, the mouth, that's going to be a problem. Not a big problem, but let's grab our tongue. Let's see, mouth shape, cool. We'll put the tongue right above that. Great. All right, and this little guy here, the back of the mouth. This is where we're having an issue, I think. Cut. Why is it an issue? Not terribly an issue, but I do need to change the shape of this. So let's do paste in front. Great. I'm going to solo this little guy for a second. At least I think I am. There we go. Because This shape, I technically want it to probably be like a full little oval or circle or some junk. So a lot of times, and Dan, you can testify to this. Like when people go like, "Well, what programs do you need to learn?" And the answer is yes. You learn whatever the hell you need to learn to get the job done. You use what you need to use to get the job done. So I'm normally jumping from multiple programs to finish a project. I had a client ask me the other day, like, what program do you plan on doing this in? And I don't know if they were testing me to see if I was going to farm out the project or not, but it was like, yeah, I'm going to use probably After Effects, maybe Toon Boom Harmony, but probably both, with a little bit of Photoshop and Illustrator, whatever is needed to do the job. So yeah, it's always interesting to see people think like, well, what program are you using? I need to learn that program. No, you need to learn how to use whatever you need to use. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm making a little weird shape here because I want this to kind of be more of an oval because of what I need to do. I remember when smart objects or smart guides came out. Let's see, can we make you a little bit larger? Why does that seem way off there? That's weird. Okay, that'll work. Do I like that shape? Technically, no. Command Y. Go to your outline so you can see what's going on. Alright, that's not terrible. Let's select both of those. Great. Let's go find our shape builder. Thank you. Click, drag, drag. Cool. All one shape. Do Command Y. There's our little weird shape there. I could probably get rid of these extra points here. Can I? Can I delete that point without it being weird? Nope. Delete it the other way, Tony. You know better. Grab Mr. Pen Tool. Where's Mr. Delete Anchor Point? Thank you. And delete you. Seriously? Fine, dude. La 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 la. This is why undos exist, just in case you go way too far. Alright, that's not terrible. Did I duplicate that shape? It looks like I did. Yes, you did. Dagnabbit. Alright, there we go. Now, why did I do all of that? Back of mouse. Because I know that I'm probably going to use that to work with how the character talks. And the muzzle's right there, which means we need to do something with that as well. Yeah, I think I'll actually do that over in Harmony though. All right, so that looks good. Tongue, muzzle, front eyebrow, yeah, head. Oh yeah, we didn't bring any whiskers. Eyebrow, there. This looks like he has some serious problems, but again, I'm going to fix the other part of that. Probably over in... probably over there, but I'll probably end up doing something different anyway. Let's see. Probably, mostly. Oh yeah, whiskers. Let's grab you. You, hold on to my shift key, grab more than one thing. And cut. Oh yeah, turn this layer on. And paste. Let's do Command F to paste in front. Thank you. All right, so in theory, Looks good there. Just because the muzzle is bothering me currently. Maybe I do want to fix that here. How the hell would I do that here? Probably something like grab Mr. Pen Tool. Thank you. Let's do no fill, no stroke. Ah, damn it. Nope. That is not what I was trying to do. Make sure nothing's selected. Thank you. Grab Mr. Pen Tool. Come over here to this little section. Click. Come up to the top maybe. Click and pull. Great. Come to this other part. Click. And I'm going to hold on my command key. Click somewhere else just so that will stop. And what should happen is, in theory, I have made my little muzzle there. That's cool. It's a little invisible line. Let's do Command Y so I can see it a little bit better. Now, sneaky little part. I'll grab that part of the bottom, grab this part, that little invisible line, and in theory, I should be able to grab my shape builder and click here to fill that in. Let's do Command Y. All right, not the color we need, but not really worried. Let's turn everybody else back on, like the back there. So I can select that color. Select there. All right. So yeah, I just needed something that's going to cover up. Where did your nose go, dude? Cut off part of your nose by accident. Range, right click, arrange. Seriously? Arrange, bring to front. There you go. Okay. So there that is. Muzzle, tongue, back of the mouth. There we are. So why the hell did I do all of that? Mainly because I know that this shape here, we're going to be stretching that out to move with the tongue to make the cat look like its mouth is moving. So just kind of thinking about these things ahead of time. Looks decent. I was like to say, what the hell is that shape? Oh, those are his teeth. Okay, cool. There and there and there. All right. So not terrible. We got iris, eyebrow, muzzle, tongue, back of the mouth, mouth shape, head, neck. All right. Now, I could probably be a little extra weird and kind of go in and do the ears. Maybe not. So the idea is saving this out so we at least have... Love it. Note to self, Command Y. Yes, Command Y. Like, Command Y is your friend. And if you've ever heard like back in I learned Photoshop when it didn't have layers. Also, I learned Illustrator when we had to build it like this first, and then you get color at the very end because, you know, the computers needed a little more oomph to work on. So yeah, Command Y. You want to see like you're building that perfect logo, go to Command Y and see exactly how perfect it is. Command Y also shows you, for those of you who are teachers, where your students are covering up things with a bunch of white objects instead of doing the actual work. They're like, yeah, I'm just hiding it here. Yeah, Command Y reveals everything. Control Y on PC, by the way. Now, what did dude look like originally? The way that looks is a little off, I think. Let me check something here. Yeah. The mouth is there. Okay. I'm not really worried. That'll work because we can use that as a cutter anyway. What do I mean by cutter? I mean that the way his tongue is set up, it's outside of this mouth shape. Looks kind of weird. But eventually, this color, the inside of the mouth, the back of the mouth here, is going to be used to mask out what we don't want of the tongue. So, which probably, I could maybe go to the tongue here. How many points are here? Oh, cool. This is not done too terribly. Yike. Dude, why are you right there? Okay, let's bring that out a little bit more. Make it a little more round. Hold on my option key. I'm not trying to hold down option. Thank you. Not option. Where is it at? It's command. Pull it out a little more. Pull this side out a little more. Yeah, not you. I know this. Is it shift or is it option? It's not option. Anyway, let's get back over there. So the idea is I'll probably do a little more commands over there in Harmony. Meanwhile, do I want the body on here or not? We can call it body for now. And I think this little, is that an ascot? It's like, there we go. And let's cut that. And we'll move you up top. I think it's an ascot. I don't know. Necktie, something, scarf, turtleneck. Paste in front. Thank you. All right. So what I ended up with, got that there. The iris. That's cool. The eye. The eyebrow. Whiskers. Whoops. Actually, that's the muzzle. Thank you. Tongue. Back of the mouth. Mouth shape. That's cool. And the head. Not terrible. So, oh yeah. Let me turn all of those off because maybe I need to grab the other eye here on this layer. Quit it. Delete. Seems weird, but it'll make sense in a minute. Like I said, we're going to clone those other guys anyway. Typically when you're doing a lot of animation, and I'm not a fan of teaching this when people are just learning because I like to force them to learn both parts. But you'd end up doing like one eyebrow, one eye, one arm, one leg, and you'd clone it that way. You don't have to actually use all of your time with stuff. Thank you for doing this. So helpful to see the progress in real time. Oh, you're welcome. It's like there's a method to my madness. I'm actually, what's the word? I'm doing this, but I'm also testing out to make sure everything goes well. I'll probably pull in a little video in a little bit. Oh, there is one video, the one video clip I've been posting because it was really awesome. Dawn Lewis, beautiful person, wonderful actor, and like she does stage, she does screen, small screen, I want to say big screen, but she also does a lot of character voices, and she does a character voice off of one of my favorite shows. She does Captain Freeman from Lower Decks. Anyway, this is, I think, the second time I've had the opportunity to interview her, and I almost didn't ask her this question because it was mainly for I had it mainly for animators, but I was asking the question. I said, "Do you think that this is like the best time, pretty much in the history, like for 2D animators to put out their own stuff, like with all the different streaming things, all the different software?" And her answer was phenomenal. It gets me chills thinking about it. I'll have to play it in a second, but that's the one thing I've been advertising because it felt so exciting, and I was mad that I even thought that I wasn't going to ask her that question. I was like, I'm glad I did ask. Dude, are your whiskers like behind there? Let me move that in front. Whiskers are being... Now, it's kind of cool because it looks like it's being cut off there, but it's kind of annoying right now. So let me bring you up front. Let's do right-click, arrange. Seriously? Bring to front. So yeah, is this in real time? Yes. Did I know yesterday that I was going to do this particular one? No, I think I found it this morning. I was like, let me go look this up. I mean, I know the process, so that's what I'm doing here. So body, neck, head, got all this done. Okay, so here's the important thing. Can you save something in Illustrator so it can be opened up in Toon Boom Harmony. Yes, however, you do have to save it out a certain way. That way it'll save all of your layers correctly. Couple things. You want to avoid gradients. There are no gradients here. They just look like the eyes are, those are two different shapes. That's cool. One thing I want to do though is I'm going to do save as, save on the computer, and let's do version 2 because this is something that's different. Yes, Illustrator format. However, once I click on save, it's going to say, would you like to save this as Illustrator 2020? No, I wouldn't. In order to get these things to show up correctly in Harmony, I'm going to go all the way back to Illustrator CS2. Okay. Now, I tested this the other day to see if I could do a current one. It's like, well, maybe they've updated some stuff. Nope, not everything came in. So Illustrator CS2. Yeah, I know it's legacy. Shut up. We'll click OK. And we'll click OK again. And what I want to do, I'm going to jump over here to my program. Let's see, here's my Harmony Premium. Oh yeah, by the way, I was kind of playing with stuff yesterday. I'll probably do some stuff. I think that we'll be announcing exactly when they happen. I think the next set of Toon Boom classes comes up in January. I'll be launching my own classes. I've got a weekend class coming up in November. So that will be announced later well, probably tomorrow, more official details. But I'm going to be doing a 6-hour weekend class and get everyone into getting comfortable with it. But little thing I was showing some students yesterday where we were playing around with doing a blink with our sliders, as well as playing with this little mouth. But anyway, enough about that. Do we save that? Sure. Let's make a new document. VampCat. And we'll call you something complicated like 01. Where are you being saved? Probably. I guess we can do that. Are you in rigging? Sure. 1920 by 1080. Great. All right. So, the thing that scares the crap out of people in Harmony Premium, especially the brand new people, they're usually freaking out about the node view. And the node view is just another way of looking at the timeline. So like, my timeline I have drawing here in the node view. Hey, drawing. If I decide to change the drawing name, I'll simply double click on there. If I call this layer, if I call the node Bob, cool, that's called Bob. If I add in a little drawing on here, oh wow, I've got automatic fill on. Let me turn that off because it's not what we're doing today. Come over here, turn off autofill. Okay, so if I have a little scribble here, great. In my timeline, I can turn off the visibility of this layer by clicking on these little eyeballs. That's cool. But what the heck does my node view look like? Hey, Bob's red. If I turn it back on, Bob's blue. How do you turn on and off something in the node view? Select this here on your keyboard, press the D button for disable or disappear. So that's my Tony thing. I kind of give different names. Anyway, how do you make it turn back on? You press A for enable or appear. D, disappear. A, appear. Fun stuff. Anyway, get out of there. So what I need to do, I need to bring in this Illustrator thing. And in order to do that, if we try to go File, Import, hey, SWF Illustrator, hey, that you can't do it. Yeah, about that. You have to come over to what's called your Harmony Premium library and do right to modify. Me personally, I've made several little folders here. One of them is an Illustrator folder. I've already messed with a troll. Let me bring in, go to File, Imports. Oh yeah, there you are. Illustrator files. Excellent. So, I'm going to go to my little VecTZ Vampire Cat. VampCat02. Open. You're going to call it this name? Yeah, sure. Now, that's part of my library. It's that simple. Now, if I've done everything correctly, it means that I can come over here and let's grab VampCat and drag him to my camera area. And it's going to say, the following colors were not found. Do you want to perform color recovery? Yes, please. Great. Ooh, that's not cool. Why is my iris not there? Alright, that's interesting. Alright, why is the... wait a minute. Eyebrows there. What happened to the eye? Let me jump back over here to the to Illustrator and figure out what happened with that. You're there. What's up with you? Front iris. That is a solid color, right? And you're a solid color. So why is Mr. Iris not over there? Let me double check something. Yeah, that did not get imported. Why? All right, let me undo that for a second. And just in case, this is fun. Let's play in real time and figure out how Tony's going to fix that. Go back to Illustrator. So, reasons you wouldn't show up. Let's turn off everything but you. And if we do Command Y, wait. You're not transparent, are you? No, you're not. You just look transparent. I'm trying to figure out why that's being weird. When in doubt, grab this, copy, new document. Great. Paste. And let me see if I can save this. Well, not that way, Tony. We're not saving an image. Let me save the thing here as a different little shape. Cat eye? That's kind of weird. Now, why am I not trying to figure out what's going on? Because technically you all are my client right now. So, do I have time to figure that out? No, not currently. I just have to make it work. So, in theory, I'm going to try to import that again, just in case that was a fluke. Can I import that file? Maybe. Nope, not that way. Can you go to File, Import, SWFs? Yes. VampCat. We'll say OK. Let's pull you in here. Alright, you still didn't come over. That's kind of weird. Like everyone else did, and you did that in order. So, let's find out the following. Can I bring in that eye separately? Import. And we'll see if we can bring in our cat eye. Ah! Cancel. I didn't say that correctly. Now mind you, I just told you all about that. Save as. Yes, save on my computer. Yes, save as cat eye. 2. Thank you. Illustrator, yes. Can we make you... CS2. And we'll jump back over here and see if I can import that correctly. All right, the colors are there. That's good. There we are. Now, worst case, it simply means that that extra little piece there. Let's grab our select tool. Go to drawing, line art. All right, that does look correct. So why are you being weird? Ah, because you're on the wrong layer. Okay. So, grabbing our select tool, let's move you to where you need to be. How many of those did you make, dude? All right. So, we will grab this little guy, bring this over here, shrink you down. That's the one weird part. It's like, answer to another question people always ask. Do I have to learn how to draw to animate? No. Technically you don't. Quit it. You do have to understand some things though. Placement, line, texture, composition. Is drawing going to help you? Hell yes. Because occasionally someone's going to go, yeah, we wanted to have antlers added onto the cat, and we kind of needed him to look more like a, if a cat was a Siberian Husky, can you go ahead and knock that out? And the client wants to see it in about 20 minutes. Like, wait, what? Yeah, I would be that client. Like, make it work. So we'll call this I. Thank you. All right, that was weird. It's almost making me wonder, did I need to maybe save it even as CS1 to get it to work? Okay, so let me check before I get too crazy. Hold on one second. Ah, thank you. Hey Tony, thank you for letting me know. I think I want you to make what you made with the banner. Ah, cool. I got it out of the way. My bad. Thank you. I forgot that was up there. So, all right. Actually, that's good that I moved it now. So it's got cat eye 2 there, tool properties. Let's go to that weird, crazy thing, the node view. Yeah, this looks a little wild. Let's clean it up a bit. So I'll simply select all of that, and I can come over here. There's this little thing that says order node view down. It's 4 in. I call it the peacock. Don't change any of these settings. Just click OK. And that's a little more organized. I think what we can work on today, where are we on time? Wait a minute, where are we on time? Oh, perfect. Still got 1 hour left. So what I want to do, I think I want to work on, I'll work on the eye. That'll be the first thing we'll do, which means, let's come over here. There's the iris, there's the eye, there's the front eyebrow. All right, so one, going to give them their own little, everything feeds into what's called a composite. If you're ever building something, you want this to be, what is that thing called? You don't want everything going into the same composite. So I'm going to make a composite for this eye here. So I'll do simply Control H, and that's Control H on both Mac and PC. All right, so let's do front underscore front eye, not underscore, there we go, comp. Thank you. Making sure this is passed through, that way it looks at all of our layers as separate pieces and not one big flat bitmap. All right, holding down my option key so I can pull that cable in, and you, and you. So we've reduced 3 cables going into our composite to 1. Now for the fun part. I think, all right, so we have, and this is what was bugging me. How do I want to do this? I think I want to separate this where the glare is on one layer The glare, the iris is on a different layer, obviously. So, Mr. Eyebrow, technically you should probably be over in front. Everything toward the left is higher in the timeline, or on the layers as far as our layers is concerned, excuse me. All right, so what I want to have happen is if this eye closes, I kind of want that top little shaded color to go with it. So that's cool. But I think I want, let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Hold on. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Okay. Let's add a peg to this thing. What does a peg mean? It means that we typically don't try to animate our artwork. This little bounding box means that, hey, my animate artwork is turned on. Let me turn that off. Let's select everybody in a mama and come up here and say, set properties for many layers. And what I want to do is where it says animate using animation tools, turn that off. And I'll click enter or return. And that way, when I click on the eye, great. I don't want the artwork to move at all. Technically, if it's going to move, it's going to get moved because it has a peg attached to it. So add a peg, click on Mr. I, thank you, Command P. And now I get the chance to move that. What I want to see though, its pivot point is dead center. Let's move that. What I want to see is if I move this thing, if I bring it down. Okay, that's kind of working what I want to do. Okay. I guess we can probably get away with not having the little glints there. I almost want to though. So what am I talking about? These two little pieces here. Let me go to my artwork, grab Mr. Selection Tool. These two pieces on the eye. Every drawing layer inside of Harmony, you have like several sub layers or art layers to play with. At least in Premium and Advanced, you don't have the extra layers in Harmony Essentials. So let me check one thing here. All right, so what I want to do is go to the drawing view, and in the drawing view, thank you, there we are. The drawing view means I can actually see just the drawing of this. And I'm going to grab these two little, quit it. Grab these two little colors here, and we'll cut. And this is on line art. I'm going to try something crazy like put something on overlay. Again, each one of the drawing layers has 4 separate layers here. So I can just do copy or cut and paste. I don't have to do a paste in place, not on a separate layer. They did add a paste in place in the newest Harmony though. All right, so that's there. What I'd like to do, hold on one second. Make sure my screen is doing what it should be doing. Okay, there we go. All right, what I'd like to do, let's go to my colors, Illustrator palette, there you are. What color is this? All right, so I'm going to purposely change that color, probably to make it a little more, I don't know, translucent. So I can double click on there and make it darker at the same time. Dark, 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 yes. But make it a little more translucent, changing the alpha. All right. Okay, there we are. Light, but it's also translucent now. And the reason I'm doing that is the following. Harmony is addictive. It'll mess you up to the point of, and anyone who's actually used Harmony from the very beginning, you start off very simple, and then before you realize it, you're just like, let me complicate this thing. And you have to fight with yourself, especially if you're trying to do a simple rig, which is what I'm attempting to do, even though I just pulled off something here. The reason I want to make this a little bit different, let's add a, you'll see in a minute here, if I move, let's say the iris here, if it'll let me. Oh yeah, line art, duh. Okay, if I move the iris over here, right now, the iris is in front of that little glare. Not what I want. So the reason I did that extra little weird thing, I can do stuff like this. There's Mr. I, great. Can we come in and pull up a node? I put that glare on an overlay layer. I can literally start talking to this eye here and say, great, give me another node. I'm just simply hitting my return key. Let's type in overlay. Awesome. Get out of there. Thank you. Yeah, if I only did overlay, that's the only part that's showing. Not what I wanted to do. However, what I would like to do, let's pull this up here so you can see this a little better. The eye is there, but if I say overlay, great. Here's the iris. Everything toward the left is in the front. So what if I said, can we take the overlay layer and put that in front of the iris? Yes. And so now it looks like it has like a nice little reflection in front of it. Still all in the same layer, that's cool, but I'm playing around with how I want those reflections to work. All right. Not terrible. Eyebrow I'm not worried about yet. Da 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 ba, 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 ba. Coolest. Hey Tyler. And hey from Indonesia. Awesome. No parking. Barry, what's up, dude? Great to see another 2D summit happening. Yes, thank you. It's yeah, it's an interesting thing because you get to it's an internal struggle. I think almost every year I'm like, maybe I'll skip this year, or maybe I've done enough, and then I have to talk myself into it pretty much. So, all right, what I want to do. So technically, not really worried about this yet. That's going to be frosting. That's not cake. Bake your cake first, frost it later. Because if there are eggshells in your batter, no one cares what the frosting is. All right, so what are we going to do with this? I want to make sure that our little iris here can move around. And technically, I'm going to move that back a bit. How far did I move that guy? This is why you don't move your artwork. It was like, I moved the iris neck. Where did it go? So I'm trying to get it back to where it was initially. Seriously? How many undos do I have to do? There we are. Thank you. Now, did I break a lot of stuff? Probably. Let me go to my drawing view for a second. Drawing, yes. Overlay, cool. You're there, cool. Did we change the opacity? Don't know. Anyway, let's add, we have a peg attached to this little guy here. That's where the pivot point is. So we can kind of scale it up if we want. Cool. But let's add a peg to the iris as well. And adjust where that pivot is going to be. Go to our advanced animation tools, the little aqua dudes up top here. Move that pivot. Let's move that there. Okay. So here's the deal. What's the whole deal with the peg? What's the whole deal with pegs? And I didn't understand this initially because I built everything without them. pegs mean I'm moving the artwork here, like moving it wherever. But yeah, you can do that with drawing. Yeah, you can. But what if I mess up and do something weird like this? All right, and let's rotate that. Okay. Here's a fun thing. I'm in my little view here. If I press the letter R, R is reset. Boom. Because the artwork hasn't been messed with. Okay. So that's the deal. Now what I'd like is to kind of be able to look around and have this kind of cropped out by the eye shape. So to do that, I'm going to use what's called a cutter. Not the cutter tool, but the cutter node. Much love to my Toon Boom family. Two things called the exact same thing, and they're kind of related. Well, technically they're not related. Yeah, cutter node does something totally different than a cutter tool. Cutter tool is more destructive, if anything. But yeah, thesaurus, different name. Of course, if you name it something different now, everyone's going to go, you changed the name. I digress. Anyway, cutter node. Come over here to my node view. Hit return or enter. If I type in cutter, or cut actually, hey, there we are. And what am I cutting? The iris, meaning I want this to be masked off. It's kind of like the masking tool, because guess what? There's a mask on it. So let's hold on my option key. Let's pull this into the cutter, excuse me, into the iris cable. That's our artwork. And a little bit of node view etiquette. You definitely want to, anytime you're using what does that say? Hold on. For those cruising through, Tony's the best harmony teacher I've ever had, and I highly recommend his classes and tuning into the summit. Smo, don't make me cry, Dad. I'm trying to do a summit here. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's like, dagnabbit. Let me turn that off. That means a lot. Thank you. Okay, so node view etiquette. Whenever you're adding a cutter, it should be lined up perfectly under whatever you're cutting. Now, everyone and their mother rigs differently. Every studio rigs differently. However, there's still etiquette when it comes to the node view. Try to keep your node view clean. And if you're thinking, well, it's just a project I'm working on, I don't need any help with that. I'm just going to do my own thing. You're still going to end up having to ask someone for help. And when you pass that off to them, and I don't know, you don't want them to spend the first, hour of their time cleaning up your node view. We were joking the other day that there needs to be I think I was joking with Onion Skin, which, oh, by the way, yeah, he's going to be here. That there needs to be a job of like the node view janitor. Like, what is that character like? Like, do you do rigging? No. Do you do animating? No. I'm the node view janitor. I clean up the node views. That's what I do, man. I straighten everything up. Anyway, I digress. So we're going to say, can we take the eye shape here, and it's the overall eye shape, and use that as a mask for the iris? And as soon as we did, dude, that just disappeared. Not a big deal. All right. What does that mean? It means simply this. If I click on this little guy here, it's doing the opposite of what we need. Like, it's going outside of there. Not what we want. So let's reset that, R. And with the cutter, you can either double click and come up here and say inverted, or do the magical little trick of simply double clicking on the mask. And it's inverted there. So there's our iris. What the hell did we just do? We added a cutter. Okay. So that's saying that it's masking out the iris. Why is it masking it? So we can do this. Up there, down there, and it's cropped off. So it makes a little more sense. All right, that part's done. Now, I think I do want to add in that little frosting. Whereas, did I change the color or did I undo that? Let's see. Double click. Did we drop our alpha? Yeah, a little bit. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about adding in that if we move our iris over here, I still want to have that glare, I think, in front of it. So the way we're going to do that is go back to our node view. Hello, Mr. Sullivan. Where's Mr. Overlay? Did I ever pull one of those back up? Overlay, there you are. By the way, double click. What a lot of people will do is simply call this OL for overlay, meaning it's calling on that overlay layer. So we'll pull this over here. We'll pull a cable from the eye, quit it, into overlay, and we'll place this in front of the iris. What does that mean in front? Remember, everything toward the left is going to be in front. So if I click on my iris here, it's moving around, it's being cut, but that nice little glare is still there. All right, looking good. Save. Save often. Now we get to do something that I really don't like doing, sort of. I'm not a fan of always adding in deformers to things. However, this darned eye is perfect for it. What is a deformer? Kind of the same way you see like a pen tool drawing out the shape. I can make a animatable, movable, bendable little thing here. And what I want to do, see. Do I wanna? What I'd like to do, I think, is add a deformer to this shape. So if we do that, I'm trying to think, do I want to keep it simple? Do I want to make it more complicated? Damn it. Okay. We're going to make this a little more complicated, but hear me out. So I do want to add a deformer to this, meaning if I come up here to my tools, unfortunately, the tool I'm about to show you, or the rigging tool here, is in Harmony Essentials. You only have like the bone deformer. If I click on this, we'll go to our tool properties. Excellent. Okay, so in Harmony Essentials, you only have like the bone deformer and the game bone deformer. Harmony Premium is the only one that actually has the envelope deformer. I think envelope and curve. Can't remember if Advanced has the curve or not, but the envelope is definitely a Harmony Premium thing. And what that means is I can make this whole thing a bendable vector for the most part. Animatable over time. And I think I'm going to start from the tear duct here. If I click here, Matt Watts, lovely gentleman, one of the sweetest, kindest people that I know on the planet. The way that Matt does this, Matt will click, and maybe come here to the end. Hold on this Option key and click there. And he comes in afterward and then bends these pieces to where they should go. Because they're basically saying we're trying to make this whole thing like animatable. I'm going to undo that because I do mine a little different. It depends on how much you like the pen tool. By the way, if you hate the pen tool, I have some really good advice for you. Learn it. The pen tool is in every friggin' piece of software. It's in Photoshop, it's in Illustrator, it's in Premiere, it's in After Effects, it's even in Adobe Audition. It's a sound program. The pen tool is still there. But yeah, learn it. There's a really cool thing called like the Bezier game or something like that, a pen tool game. If you Google the pen tool game, you'll see what I'm talking about. I think it's one of the first things that shows up. Okay, so let me do it my way. I'm gonna grab this guy here. I'm gonna do mine in not real time, but you'll see what I mean. click once, come up to the top. I'm going to click and pull, I think, yes, to the right, or at least mostly to the right. But I'm trying to get that shape. Cool. Come down to the bottom here and adjust that a bit. And I'm probably going to hold down my Alt key and click on the close there. And now I'll tighten this up a little bit better. Hold down my Option key, Alt on PC, and I can pull the individual handles. Alrighty. Looks cool. Now, it's red, meaning you are rigging at this point. You're not actually ready to animate it yet. But in theory, if I did this correctly, I should be able to come over here with my transform tool and bring this down. Ooh, I'm breaking things. Bad Toady. Now we gotta fix it. Yeah, there's a way to fix this. It's something about if you make things, what is it? If you make it big and you go smaller, then it gets weird. So this is kind of doing what I want. We're going to fix that in a minute, though. I've got to make this a little more complicated. A little more complicated than I want. But we are going to actually have some pretty cool closing eyes, though. Okay, dang it. What is that trick? I was learning this from the Bird Brain. And still, there's probably even a way I can do this without the deformer, but okay. Got that going so far. Do I wanna? Okay. Next up, what we are going to do, I have to revisit that later when my brain is working. Save. Yeah, we're on a little bit of time here. Let's see if I can get the mouth built and then come back to the eye when I'm thinking clearly. Muzzle, tongue, back of the mouth shape. Let's make a new comp. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4 cables. Let's do Control H. Dude, get off of there. Hold on my Option key, disconnect you. And we'll make you the mouth comp. And let's pull you in. Everybody goes into this one little comp. So we've taken 4 cables. We had, what was that initially? The other one was 3 cables. Yeah, 3 cables turned into 1. These 4 turned into. So we're slowly but surely cutting up all these little things here, or breaking them up. All right, so same thing here. Mouth shape is good. The mouth is one thing. The muzzle is where it needs to be. Or is it? No, that's the muzzle. Where's the back of the mouth? There we are. The tongue needs a cutter. So sitting outside the little area there. So let me bring up, hit return, bring up a cutter. Thank you. Get out of there. Needs to go into the tongue. By the way, if you notice, it says cutter_1. Harmony does not like you to have 2 layers, 2 colors, 2 nodes called the same thing. So it's like a directory. If you've ever done web design, something like that. All right, so cutter for the tongue. Yes, please. What's cutting it? The back of the mouth? That way? That's the reverse of what we wanted. How do we get the reverse? Simply double click on our mask. There we go. And if I added a peg, movable thing to the tongue there. Let's change where your pivot point is, sir. Bring it up to there-ish. There we go. And that way, I can go in here and let's grab my transform tool. And kind of like the eye, I can kind of go, there we go. I can even make this a little bit wider. Bring it down. And of course, press R, reset. All right, so that part's done. But the mouth itself. No. The mouth, let's do Command P, add a peg. And believe it or not, the pivot point for this, pivot points are like a, what is it, a thumbtack. Think of it, a thumbtack in a piece of paper. Thumbtack or a push pin. Where does that paper rotate from? So there we are. Excuse me. And what do I want to do? Let's test that out. Can we go there? Yeah. Meow, 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 meow. Yeah, man. Okay, cool. This is why I wanted to actually make sure that was separate and make sure there's a big old circle there instead of just that little, I don't know, teardrop. That looks good. Making the rest of this. See, what's up with the muzzle? Do we need you somewhere? Probably. We could have probably actually put that in one of the art layers, but... Alright, so what is bugging me about the rest of this? Do I want to make that more simple? Probably. But how? Okay, so the eyes. Great. If you... Wow, that's extra complicated, but it would work. So I'm playing around with some ideas here. If, big word for 2 letters, what if I didn't put the deformer necessarily on the eye, but still made it work like that? There is a way that I can come in here. The funny thing about this is I'm probably going to do this and then think sometime this evening going, actually we could do it this way and do it much better. So what if I left the eye completely alone? Let's move our deformer out of there. Now our iris still works this way. That's cool. But what if I made a totally separate shape that controls the masking of all of the eye here? So what am I talking about? I'm talking about simply grabbing, let's see if I grab the brush. I'm going to go grab a very ugly color, or make a new color here. Let's come over, add a new color. Thank you. By the way, always name your layers or name your colors. The reason that these aren't named is because they came over from Illustrator and they just come over and saying solid color. So let me call this my mask color. And this is just 0 red, 255 green, 0 blue. Just pure green screen, whatever. Does it have to be this color? Nope. I'm just making it garish so I know where the hell it is and I know what it is. Okay, now let's go to my tool properties. See if we can bring this to a close here. Yes, use your autofill. And I am going to go to my node view. All right, so we have the eye, great, and we have the overlay, and we're doing that little cool, neat thing there. By the way, if you're ever wondering how do things end up being really complex, this is how. Okay, let's move all of you over here. I need another drawing layer. So I'm going to do Command R. Let's call you something complicated like eye mask. Because what I'm going to do is make a shape that can expand and collapse without breaking that little thing there. Because again, we can, what's the word? You can make something with a deformer. You can make something small go big, but when big goes small, it gets kind of weird. So, the eye mask, let's grab our paint tool. I'm doing this with my mouse. Shouldn't be, but oh well. Hold down my O key. Let's make this a little smaller. And I'm going to draw this basic shape here. And kind of make a nice little grain. And you know what? That's really ugly. Undo that. I know better. I know better on several things. One, I'm drawing this. I need to see what the hell I'm doing. So how about we add, quit it. Na. How about we add one, that to the front, and two, let me use my line tool for a minute, just to build out the shape that I want. Click, pull that line. Damn, that's a huge line. Hold on. Hold down O, click and drag to the left to make my line smaller. We'll click and drag this out here while my mouse is still being held down. Hold down my Command key, Control on PC, so I can bend that line. That's cool. I do have snapping turned on, which is cool. Bring this out, bring that there. Hold down my little shape, kind of bending that down so it's like a little weird teardrop. Okay, that weird shape. Fill it in with green, sure. Do I need to get rid of the outline? I don't need to. Am I going to? Yes. Great. Get rid of the outline. Thank you. So we have this weird shape here. And in theory, I'm going to use this to control what's seen on my eye, I think. So, crap, I did that on overlay. Not a big deal. So this little guy, we're going to add our deformer. Come back over here to our rigging tool and click once here. Click and drag here. Click to the end. Hold down my Option key. Click at the beginning. Make sure this is going where it needs to. All right. This is either going to work or it's not. So yeah, it's just kind of like figuring out, because I want to make this, I want to be able to do, add what's called a slider to it. So this actually works a little better. All right, so in case, what are we doing? Great, we got that little guy there. That's our mask. So what we're saying is we want to be able to use that to mask out our eye. Okay, which means this little guy comes up here, and I'm going to add another composite, Control H. Let me pull this out temporarily. We need the iris, the overlay, all the little eye stuff going in there. Probably everybody except for the eyebrow. Thank you. So I want all of these guys, all of that to be affected by the thing I just made. So in theory, if I add a cutter, this is probably more complicated than I wanted, but Let's see. Return, thank you, cutter, thank you. Pull that into that composite. And if we say we take the eye mask, this little dude, get over there. Take this eye mask, and that is controlling the cutter. All right, that's doing the opposite of what we wanted. So what if we reverse that? It's like, dude, your eye is gone. Technically what I want. But what we now have is the ability to come here and open this up. Yike. Probably better than that. It would have to be here and here. Yeah, more complicated than what I wanted. Probably easier the other way. All right, not terrible, not great, but not terrible. But the idea is I could kind of close this out using that one little shape. Easiest way probably is just to handle this via doing some drawing substitutions, so I can actually close the eye out that way. And I might go that direction. But yeah, this is kind of where we're kind of playing off to start. The mouth is mostly done mouth. Eyes, I think I want to think about. There's got to be a better, easier way that does not look like a spaghetti junction. So la 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 la. But yeah, just kind of playing around with stuff. And again, started this with just downloading a vector from Vecteezy, taking it over to Illustrator, breaking it up into layers, which I'm still wondering why that one little dude didn't show up okay initially. But then importing that, making sure you save this out like a CS2 or something like that, but jumping back over. So yeah, we'll be picking that up tomorrow. Like in and out with all those things. Got you. What are the overall goals for the session? Well, I plan on pretty much taking, it'll be the full vector that I've grabbed offline and just saying, here's how to separate it, here's how to rig it out, so I can actually set this thing up so he can actually open and close his mouth, open and close his eyes, eventually be able to move his body. Am I going to do a 360 rig? Nope. Just doing a simple little production rig. Like if I wanted to do a little basic commercial, if I wanted to add in a deformer to his body or something like that, I can. Like for instance, let me do something crazy. I think the body's all one shot right now. So let me do the following. There's the body. Let me pull up another display for a second. IS, thank you. Pull you into there. Where are my displays? Are they around here somewhere? Windows, toolbar, display, thank you. Go to display 1. Great. So for instance, how simple can the rest of this thing be if I wanted to just kind of keep it really basic? I could come in here and add a deformer, come up about 1/3 of the way, come down about 1/3 of the way to the entire body. And then do something like Now the cool thing, if you notice the little cape there, it's doing some really cool stuff, is if we did it on purpose. Nope. But yeah, little fun things like that. So in theory, like I said, I'll figure out what's going on with the eyes tomorrow. Also talk about doing some cloning. But yeah, there's a better way to do this little guy. And then we'll add a slider. Let me see if I can show you this. Like I was, the slider I was messing with yesterday. Yeah, save, thank you. Sliders we were messing with yesterday when I was teaching one of Toon BIM's classes. Let's see. Can we bring up my sliders? Yes, please. Thank you. There you are. I can click and make both those blink. Do I have the ability to grab my little virtual pegs, my V pegs here? Grab the lower lid. Go ahead. Looking at you, bud. Can I grab the eyebrows? Turn on my deformers here. And now he's an angry shark. There. I think someone ate his cotton candy. He's not happy about it. So. Na, 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 na. But yeah. Meanwhile, so for those of you who've been hanging out with me, thank you for hanging out today. We are going to be, I'll tell you who's showing up tomorrow. Hold on, let me pull up my list. And if you haven't already, is there a way for animators to access Toon Boom rigs to animate with non-commercial EPS? My message is stuck on top of your screen. You mean that message? Thanks. Yeah, actually in the Learn portal, there's several there. I don't know if there's a list that says, hey, this is where to find this one, this is where to find the other one. Learn portal has some, and I know there's several on Gumroad. There are different people like, I'm trying to think. Let's see if I can do this really quick. There are, I'm just seeing if I can write this in here. There are people like, I'm going to write this one out, Q Bumley. There are also people like, what is that other name? I'm forgetting. Cuban Lee is one person. Oh yeah, Ollie Putland. Duh. Yeah, which Ollie's going to be on the show this week. Let's see. Why am I forgetting this? But literally, if you haven't done this already, you should check out Gumroad.com. And I will tell you ahead of time, if you do find a rig of mine, don't use that one because they're older. They're not built correctly. I know a lot more now. But yeah, you can actually go to Gumroad, and if you look up Toon Boom rigs, you can find them there. I'm trying to think. A lot of people like Onion Skin and Ollie, I know, and probably some others. All of them have different Patreons, and a lot of their rigs and builds are available there. But for instance, on the TuneBim site, if you like, even if you're taking the Tune, whether you download it from TuneBim site or you've ever taken one of their classes, you're allowed to use the rigs as long as you say, hey, the rig was built by blah blah blah, and this is what I'm using it for. All right. Okie dokie. Give me one quick second here. So tomorrow we have Susana Rodriguez, also Marisa Livingston, who actually works on one of my favorite shows to watch, Lower Decks, which I did not know that Lower Decks was done in Flash. Who knew? Also, Josephine Ruslone is going to be talking about social media and artists and different ways of making sure that you can still get your work and stuff out there without actually, I don't know, driving yourself crazy. And Wednesday, oh my gosh, I was giddy, very giddy to actually get to talk to this person. Worked on, what is that, the Good Advice Cupcake, but they also now work on a show called Chicken Nugget. I'm talking to Kira Kopetsky, and also, matter of fact, let me pull something up. Dwan Lewis, let's see. I'm gonna see if I can pull in a video here because it's kind of awesome. Let's see, because I was talking about this earlier. I almost didn't ask Dawn this question, but I was asking the question of, do you think currently, with all the different technologies and softwares and all the different streaming places that exist, there's never been a better time for 2D animators to put their own thing out? And I said, do you agree with that or disagree? I almost didn't ask her because that question was designed for animators and artists, because I wanted to see their opinions, like in directors and things like that. And Dawn's main thing with animation, she's a voice actor, so I asked her the question anyway. And so I don't think I actually sent her this question ahead of time, so it blew me away. So I want to share that with you real quick. Test out our movies.
Right, apps and software, you can do just about anything. So why not? And then you have the platform of social media, of YouTube, of all of these other platforms with which to get your material out there. The thing now becomes monetizing and protecting it. A lot of people, I believe, in this season of instant everything, don't make it a point to protect themselves and to figure out how to monetize and make a living at what they do. Too many people, I believe, are just so eager to be seen and eager to be popular that they don't take care of the business of show. It's called show business for a reason. And the word business is twice as long as the word show for a reason, because it's more important. You got to handle your business. It's great to be part of the show, but if you don't handle your business, you're about to be taken advantage of. You're about to be frustrated. You're about to be broke.
I wanted to share that because it was like really awesome and some pretty cool advice, I thought. But yeah, la 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 la. Let's see. So we are going to, like I said, this want to say one shout out and thanks to our sponsors. We will be starting giveaways tomorrow. We have, I want to say, wow, we have over 15 licenses to give away. Some Harmony, some Storyboard Pro. We also have, I'll put it to you this way. I was grateful and honored, but what is it? The collective amount of everything that our sponsors have blessed us with is pretty much over 10K worth of stuff. So whether hardware or software. So if you have not already, and if you received an email from me today, that means you're actually at least that's the list I'll be pulling things from. So if you haven't, where's my little guy? Okay, cool. There is the sign up. Also, this entire week, we're going to be kind of showing you clips and little tidbits from our course that's going to be releasing next week, next Friday, I believe. But it's Simple Production Rigs in Toon Boom Harmony. So if you go to, I want to say it's signup.1000vampires.com. So yeah, that's where you can get information. Let me think. More information about that. Like I said, we're initially working on trying to release it today. We are going to be releasing that next Friday. But it's kind of going in and talking about, well, how do you make a simple production rig without it actually being, broken? With like, how would just one person, one or two people, put out a consistent product every week? All right. Hey, what's up? Meanwhile, oh, it's on the screen, huh? Yes. Quick question. Our callers are so zoomed in. How do you do that? Let me see what I'm talking. Let me see if I'm doing what I think you're thinking of. Well, one, by the way, if you ever see this and you open up a program, like, dude, where are my colors? You literally just have to click on a drawing layer and then they show up. So swatch mode is here. So I'm literally just right clicking over into this little area and then saying, by the way, go to swatch mode. I think that's what you're asking. So anywhere, like over there, swatch mode, and it switches over. Okay, yours are in swatch mode. Interesting. Let me see what else is wrong here. If I go to swatch mode, now one thing I can tell you, my screen itself is actually at 720p, and I have it that way because I do a lot of training. So that might be part of it. So yeah, I don't think there's because there's no. I don't think there's a little slider or a little plus or larging thing in there. At least not that I'm aware of. So yeah, I remember because I kept asking for a while. It's like, dude, why? Like some of my students would go like, Tony, you can actually see your camera outline here, but I don't see mine. It's very thin or it's not visible. And then there are some people who have like the Retina screens, and so it's not updating that. Now, meanwhile, I'm on like 720p, so not only are these things larger here, but even the way when I'm working in Harmony, sometimes I have to adjust where certain pieces are just so I can see everything. Alrighty. So we'll be sending out more emails, and I want to give thanks in advance to all of our panelists and all of our sponsors, because without them, this wouldn't be happening. We technically, this is a me thing. So again, the whole thing of when you start waiting on other people, you just have to actually knock it out yourself, just kind of have fun with it. So I'm reaching out to people, doing the interviews, running all the stuff, doing the social media. Just signed up. Thank you. Thanks, Smo. Appreciate that. So yeah, it'll be releasing next week. Looking forward to doing that. Even showing some little compositing tricks, because the idea of, I think really complex rigs are awesome, but in theory, if you build something that's pretty simple, then do it. Because that means you can get stuff out there. No disrespect to things, but I think a lot of shows like what is it, Cyanide and Happiness, also shows like the Good Advice Cupcake and things like that, they look pretty awesome there. You're welcome. Love your avatar. All right. So that is it for today. By the way, letting you know the rest of the week, it's going to be running about 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 2 p.m. We will be taking like a break in the middle for lunch, but we'll be breaking them up. And some of the interviews are longer than 45 minutes. And when they are, we kind of crop them at 45, and the full length will be available next week on the YouTube playlist. But we'll be doing little snippets. I know probably for a fact, whenever Ollie and I get together and start talking, it ends up being longer than 45 minutes. Same thing with Colin Bennett from Onion Skin. So get to talk to a lot of different people. Oh, and I normally try to find someone who does After Effects. I haven't actually been able to catch up with anyone, so I'm also going to be doing some After Effects character animation demos this week. So. Okay. You're welcome, Eric. I really appreciate that. So, yeah, definitely, if you haven't already, feel free to share. We've been trying to post stuff on LinkedIn, Twitter, all those other places. The more people that know about this, that kind of helps us out with sponsors and things like that, because then we can go, this is how many people show up, and they'll go, cool, we'll give you more stuff to give away. I'm like, thank you. All right. Let me know if you need Rex. Might be able to get you in contact. Ooh, I like that. I will take you up on that. Oh, which reminds me, yes, I mentioned this earlier. We are going to be working on, it's either going to be the Tony Teach podcast or the Animation Summit podcast, one or the other. I don't know. Tony Teach gives me a little more wiggle room that can always feed into the Summit podcast. So, but we'll be starting that back up. I did a podcast, good grief, well over 10 years ago. I'm going to get back into doing that. So. All right, I'm going to sign off. Like I said, we'll pick this back up tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll start with our first guest and our giveaways and all those other little fun things. And we'll also figure out what the hell's going on with our cat. So, for After Effects, yes, that's what I thought you were meaning. Yes, definitely. All right, so. Make art, not excuses. So go ahead and make something. All right. Have a good one. Y'all can sign off because I'm going bye-bye. Bye. See y'all in the morning.